Good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I'm going to tell you guys all a little bit more about my story and who I am.
Hi, my name is Dan. When I was very young, our family was in the franchising business, and we traveled a lot together to exciting places for trade shows and business conferences. We had a family dream to one day travel full-time. In 2015, when we sold our business, we hit the road together and never looked back. For the past 7 years, I have been full-time overlanding and off-grid living with my family. We have been documenting our adventure on the YouTube channel, The Epic Family Road Trip. The incredible places we have been and the life-changing experiences we've had along the way have inspired me to start my own channel in order to share my own perspective and creative style. My passion is to learn new skills while preserving the old ways of doing things. Through my videos, I will share the lessons I've learned on my self-reliance journey, as well as stories from faraway places and people who live there. My mission is to create adventure videos that inspire and encourage people to get out into nature and live their best lives while promoting my core values of faith, family, and adventure.
So when we first started traveling, I was about 10 years old and my brother and sister were 12 and 14. So we're all still pretty young, so the best way for us to do that, being new to the whole traveling scene, at least on the road, we decided to go with a 2016 Winnebago RV. And we used that for many years, just traveling around the United States and Canada. And at the time, since everything like that was new to us, we mostly stayed at campgrounds and designated camping spots. But as we got older and as we got more experienced on traveling around the world, we started to expand our scope to more off-road and remote destinations. So we left the RV behind and we headed to New Zealand for 6 months with the blue Jeep Vandy, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with.
With beautiful scenery and amazing locals, New Zealand was the perfect place to ease us into travel life. New Zealand was an incredibly memorable trip for our entire family, not only because it was our first big international trip as a family, but for all the experiences we had together. One of the most memorable experiences was when we were able to help rescue pilot whales that were stranded on a beach.
There was a volunteer whale rescue group on site called Project Jonah. They thanked us for coming and advised us to set up camp, get a good night's sleep, and meet them on the beach at sunrise for a short whale first aid training.
Survival hanging in the balance. A group of volunteers work frantically to sustain these stranded pilot whales who became beached on a remote corner of New Zealand's South Island.
The next morning, we woke up at the crack of dawn, made a quick coffee, packed a bunch of snacks into a backpack, and headed to the briefing.
This is the largest stranding on mainland New Zealand in recorded human history. So to be part of this, and to play a part today, I'd really like to honour and respect your efforts in coming down and playing a part.
After the briefing, we walked 4 kilometers down the beach to where the whales were stranded. As we approached the site, our hearts sank as we saw the hundreds of whales that had already perished before the stranding was discovered. But as we kept walking, we began to hear the high-frequency calls of the whales that were still alive and fighting for their lives as they lay stuck on the sand in the hot, blistering sun.
There are some dangers that people face when working around these whales, particularly in the Farewell Spit region. Not only exposure to the weather, even a bright sunny day can get very windy out on the exposed flats, but also there's the risk around the dead whales of sharks and stingrays coming in.
The plan was to wait till the tide came in and then push the whales and attempt to free them back into the ocean.
So we had a debriefing this morning, and it's a 4-kilometer walk along the beach, but we're out here now. You can see the whales that are still alive, and we're keeping them wet, putting water on their skin, and we're going to start rolling them over and digging a hole for their flappers. But you can see out here there's 100 plus, about 116 live whales that we got to keep hydrated all day until the tide comes in tonight. Hopefully then they can swim away.
Okay, 1.
When we refloat 100 whales at a time, we don't do them one by one because they live in a social pod, and that pod is a really tight social bonding. You put one out and you'll turn around and come back to the rest of his family. So we have to refloat them all at the same time.
The tide came in like 20 seconds. I hope all these whales get out. Look at those.
Come on guys, you can get out.
Once the water was deep enough to begin floating the whales, we rushed our cameras out of the water and began the job of trying to push the whales. This bay stays shallow for a long way out, and a lot of pushing was needed to get the whales into deep enough water where they could swim on their own. Eventually, all 120 whales were free and swimming in the bay. We held hands and formed a human chain to keep the whales from swimming back into shore. Then the most amazing thing happened. A superpod of about 300 whales was swimming out in the ocean and heard the distress calls of the whales we had just freed. They changed direction and swam as fast as they could into the bay. The experts told us later that the superpod was adopting the stranded and orphaned whales into their family. Eventually, they all began to swim farther and farther away until they were free in the ocean once more. This experience is one we will never forget. It was physically and emotionally exhausting, but it was so rewarding getting to help rescue these beautiful creatures and get them back into the ocean where they belong.
I would say that the main destinations and experiences that sticked out to me the most in those first few years were New Zealand, of course. That was just our first deep dive into a totally different culture, and is a really neat experience to spend such a long time in one place. But then also one of them was our mission trip to Haiti.
We talked to the kids and said Haiti is not a holiday destination. It costs about the same or even more than going to Hawaii, which will be luxury and you'll enjoy yourself. Haiti, you're going to be sleeping in a concrete building on a cot. It's very, very hot all day, and it's just as hot at night. The showers won't cool you down. It's not going to be luxury, but there's a purpose for us going there. Someone got the idea to put together a solar panel, a battery, and a light for 800 families that live in a village called Ferrier. Now that village had never had an electrical grid, so at night the children are studying their school by kerosene lamp, and there's all kinds of respiratory problems happening there. So they had an amazing idea to bring down this clean lighting for them. And so they put together 800 lights, and we had the opportunity to go along and to train the villagers on how to use them. And that became such a rewarding experience. Every day villagers would come in into the little outdoor classrooms, and for me as a parent and Carol, to watch our kids, you know, they're young, teaching people 2 times or 3 times their age how it works, and they speak Creole, so there's a bit of a language barrier. But I remember watching my son pointing the solar panel at the sun and saying it collects the energy from the sun, it stores it in this little battery, and then you flick this switch, and when they flicked the switch, the light came on, and you see the wonder and awe in their eyes seeing that for the first time. It was such a rewarding experience. And so we continued to train all the villagers every day until everyone had been trained, and then on the last day everyone gathered in the little area down there, and the villagers sang songs, and it was just such a beautiful ceremony. We handed out all the lights to them, and a double rainbow formed in the sky, which was just unbelievable. And then as the sun went down, we watched as the villagers walked to their homes with their lights, and the little village of Ferrier lit up for the first time.
It was just an amazing experience. When we went there, we had the idea that we were going on this trip to help others, but when we left, we definitely felt like we were the ones that were helped the most. And we were really just inspired about how happy these people were with how little they had, and it really made us realize how much unnecessary stuff we drag around, and you know, what we keep value on. And I think that was one of our main deciding factors onto why we sold our house and most of our possessions to go full-time on the road, and we've never looked back since. Our trip to Bali, Indonesia was one of our first main deep dives into another culture. We really took the time on that trip to learn as much as we could about the customs and the ways of doing things, and it was really neat, especially at such a young age, to see how different people from different countries worked, and you know, how different our lives can be from somebody. And it really piqued my interest the whole time we were there, because I'm somebody that loves history and loves learning about new cultures, and I think that trip really is what started my interest in learning as much as I can about the way people live in different countries. And it was just a really amazing and fun trip overall.
Fast forward a few years and many thousands of miles, and our travel convoy was looking a lot different. With the new addition of our 2019 Jeep Worsley and new equipment fitted to the Jeeps, we were ready for new adventures, taking us farther and farther afield and to even more remote locations. Even with our 2 Jeeps fully outfitted, allowing us to head out on even crazier adventures, Peter and I still wanted more.
I can hardly think straight. My stomach, I thought I'd need Pepto or something on the way here, but then it's just pure nerves. My stomach is cramping. After years of planning and stuff and working towards these, it's awesome that we're actually here picking them up. Like, alright, let's just do it. I can't even think. Let's do it. 40 days. Temporary license. Street
temporary registrations, yeah. So nice. Keep these. There'll be one of these. Whoever's riding, keep that. I had a guy a couple years ago buy a Honeycomb.
Is the registration the same, or?
No, they're different. So you just have to match up the VIN number. The VIN number is right here on here. So this one's a 2730.
Yeah, that's yours.
That one will be 1692. So it's yours, man.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah. Other than that, there's really no other way to keep them.
You're gonna have to get a Sharpie and put your name on it.
Yeah. Put some numbers on them or something.
Amazing. Oh my.
Instruments up here. Nice. You can put USB ports, everything, and then customize them with a larger windshield.
Just to Belgrade.
You feel so good. Oh, I didn't see your first ride.
Well, first ride around in the parking lot and I almost dropped it.
I moved his up on it.
Kicked the kicks down and it didn't fully go down, but man, oh, so much fun.
We have to pull it up so that the tire's up against that bar. There you go. And I can hold it right there with the brake while you pull them down tight.
After years of saving and even longer talking about it, Peter and I had finally fulfilled our dream of buying 2 KTM adventure bikes. After many weeks of practicing and tinkering on the bikes, it was time to take them out for a test run on the trails. It was an amazing feeling to successfully complete our first trail and camp night with the motorcycles.
Whoa. Hold on! Yeah, Dan. Oh, you almost made it. Almost. I couldn't stand up. At least you didn't fall. Yeah.
We have been waiting for a big shipment from Moskomoto for a long time. I've been dreaming about it for years, and now the UPS truck is finally here. It said it was going to come yesterday, and I waited forever for it to come, and it didn't come, and now it's here today. So it's really exciting.
Let's go see what you got. Moskomoto bags have arrived.
Back, and turn into backpacks as well. Get 2 of those. Ooh! Oh, these are the Nomax tank bags. That is insane. Wow, I'm so excited to see all this stuff on the bikes. Feels like Christmas.
Yeah, I can't believe how much there is to it. It's amazing.
Alright guys, so as you can see I have finished mounting my Outback Mototrack X-Frame rack, my 690. It was a very simple install, I'm very happy with it. Just the bottom of the rack is supported where the passenger footbags used to be. You just take off the passenger footbags, use the same hardware, it's 2 bolts. And then on the top where the grab handles used to be is where the top will be supported. You just take the grab handles off, it's 2 bolts again, mounts right in, everything fit nice, is very simple. Now it's time to
put the panniers and the bags on. Can't wait to see what they look like.
Putting it on, just slide it on, and it clicks.
With the bikes now fully equipped, and Peter and I confident enough, we head out to explore the United States on our adventure bikes. With still so much to learn, we enjoyed the process of learning how to cook and pack on our motorcycles. Living out of saddlebags was a totally new experience for us. You can follow our entire journey on the adventure bikes on the Adventure Guys YouTube channel.
2 cups.
Oh, 2 cups?
2 cups, exactly.
Well, that's that full thing. So.
480 mils. No, the full thing is 500, so it's pretty convenient that way. Stir it up, the cozy meal for a rainy day.
Oh, that's why as soon as I saw mashed potatoes with beef and gravy in the store, I bought like 4 of these. That's my kind of meal.
Say what you're doing.
Eating. Wow. It's mashed potatoes with beef and gravy. Like, I'm not joking. It's like, look at that. That's not watery at all. It's an actual like mashed potato. It's really good. Whenever we have to eat one of these, because there's like other options in ramen and stuff, I always prefer it to be something simple like this, where it's just 3 ingredients, not like their tomato curry or something like that. Just because they're really good for what they are, but a lot of people don't like them, so I'd recommend going with simple stuff that's always good, like this sort of thing, or like beef stew, mac and cheese, chili mac, that sort of thing. But this one's really good.
This trip that took us all across the United States on our adventure bikes was one of my most memorable experiences with my brother, and I'm so glad we got to do it. Not everything was smooth sailing though, as we had our fair share of crashes.
Oh, too bad. It's always annoying.
Almost made it, 5 feet.
Although picking up your bike in the hot desert or cold mountain air can be frustrating at times, we always had each other to help us get back in the saddle and continue onwards.
It is freezing. My fingers are numb. And so are my lips.
Not all of our adventures are on the road though. We do spend as much time as possible here at our cabin in Ontario, Canada.
Can't imagine the noise on one of those big ice breakers in the Arctic, you know.
Whether it's surviving the cold and brutal Canadian winters or spending time in the warm summer sun, the island is one of my favorite places, and I'm glad that I've been able to share my recent adventures here with you guys.
Well guys, I hope that kind of explained our history a little bit better. If you still want more information, you could head over to the Epic Family Road Trip channel, and you can learn a lot more there. You can watch all of our early videos onto recent days, and you can also see some of the compilations, so you can just kind of get the whole story in 1 or 2 videos as well. And if you'd like to see more of me and Peter's moto travels, you can head over to the Adventure Guys YouTube channel and watch our adventures from there. That being said, I'm very excited to head out on the road at some point and share with you guys my adventures from my own perspective here on my channel. And like I mentioned, that tends to be more interest towards the culture and history of places, which I hope I can share and learn along with you guys in kind of a neat way on this channel, while still giving you a very natural and raw version, so you can experience what I'm experiencing as realistically as possible, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. Hopefully get our motorcycles here in Canada and explore our own province, our own country, but then also head out further afield at some point, which I know will be amazing. So please let me know in the comments what kind of videos you guys would like to see, whether it's here at the island or traveling, and if there's any ways I can improve my storytelling or just things you'd like to see more in my videos. That's always appreciated, and you guys have been doing a great job at asking me questions and letting me know what you want so far, so please keep that up, and I'll try and answer all your questions as much as possible. And as always, a big thank you to all of you guys on YouTube watching, and a special thanks to those of you who have subscribed to my Patreon channel. Your support really means a lot, and it's helping me to continue doing what I love and bringing you guys new content. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next week.